Everybody, Logan here. Yeah, this is going to be another video that people are going to hate me for because for some reason, whenever I say something negative about a controller from this brand, GameSir, if I'm just honest or giving my opinions on it, because, well, that's what I'm supposed to do here. It's the whole point. Not everything's all rainbows and unicorns and sunlight and shininess. No, controllers are still a product. And if it's something that I do on a regular basis where I use them and review them, that's kind of my whole shtick here. Yeah, I cover other hardware and games and news, podcasts and stuff like that, but I've really turned controllers into my specialty, and it's, like I said, it's kind of my shtick. So, you guys may not like this. If you don't want to hear something negative about GameSir G7 Pro, this video is not for you, but if you're actually interested in why I've kind of moved on from that controller, and this is the wireless version for the Xbox. I've already covered why I don't like the standard G7 Pro, and well, this one is the wireless, and I'm not saying I don't like it. Not by any means. I'm going to go over some of the pros, some of my favorite things about this controller, but honestly, I've moved on. And there's a much better option. Yes, more expensive, but I found myself performing a lot better in games, and it's just more comfortable and a better overall controller than this. Let's get into it. Alrighty. If you're going to hit the dislike button, well, now's your time because you're not going to like anything I have to say, because you're probably, I didn't know this could be a thing, a GameSir fanboy. There are people that just don't like to hear criticism about this brand, but there are a lot of people I've noticed out there these days that have blind loyalty to controller brands, to major manufacturers, instead of just going, all right, I like what they did here, I don't like what they did here. There's like nothing they can't do wrong. I mean, GameSir has had its fair of successes and some disappointments, including the G7 Pro. Now, this one, the G7 Pro Wireless Wuchang Edition, is probably one of the best controllers I've ever used. I like a number of its features, especially being able to wake the console just by pulling it off the dock, because the console controller powers up and wakes your console. Awesome. I do like the triggers. I like the back flappy paddles, but you know what? That D-pad is just a killer for me. Now, it's not as bad as the standard G7 Pro. One, it's not even wireless. You can only use it on PC wireless, and yeah, it's an Xbox controller. That's what it's designed for. All the nonsense going around about Xbox these days, let's not address that. We're just talking about what people have now in terms of their Xboxes at home, and this is truly designed for the Xbox like the original should have been. Yes, it is slightly bit more expensive, but worth every penny, unless you want to use something with a solid D-pad input. That's where the original one had a ton of latency issues, where they pretty much repaired that D-pad and made it a lot better. No input lag, but it's still a subpar D-pad. In order to get a better version of the D-pad, you have to use the GameSir G7 SE faceplate, take it off and put on the other one, and then that's just going to cost you more money. The price tag is not bad. It's $100 for what this offers. Now, there's a new one coming out, the Zenless Zone Zero. I did cover that. And yes, it looks promising and comes with a lot of extra accessories, especially if you're a fan of Zenless Zone Zero. Me, not so much, but I do really like what it comes with. It's a $130 controller, and it's okay for what it comes with. Am I honestly going to buy it, review it? Maybe it comes out in December. I really haven't decided, but if you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, you'll know when I cover the next GameSir controller, which is the new Iron Man edition of the Nova 2 Lite. I'm actually looking forward to that. If you guys have been following the channel for quite some time, you know I covered the G7 HE Iron Man edition. I really like these, and I decided to pick that one up. But I digress. We're talking about the G7 Pro. Now, I've been using a number of other wireless options from the Ferox M5 from QRD, and I thought that was a rather good controller, especially for the price tag, but it just didn't have the quality that I was looking for in terms of performance that came from the G7 SE Pro or the Ultimate Tri-Mode controller. Tri-Mode is GameSir. Ultimate 3-Mode from 8-Bit Do. Now, I think it should have been an Ultimate 2, but my thing is I love this D-pad. I love the feel. Yes, it's missing features that the G7 Pro does, and well, we're talking about the same price tag. I do like this one just in terms of game feel, but can I really recommend it over the Pro? After long-term gameplay, I can only say I just like the way it feels better. That's about it. But performance, you're getting a lot more out of the G7 Pro. But after using this controller from the black variation and now the white one as well as the wired version, my favorite wireless controller, hands down, the Razer Wolverine V3 Pro. The performance in here is just staggering. It works with your console and PC wireless. You don't have to get one version or another. You don't have to sacrifice looks. Yes, I put a skin on mine. Thank you, Razer, for sending me that skin. And I just love the way this looks and feels. It's got mechanical everything, 4 flappy paddles, 2 claw buttons, some of the best trigger locks I've ever used. Whether I'm playing games like Borderlands 4, Battlefield 6, or even my go-to Exo Primal, this has been the best controller I've ever used. Yes, it is significantly more expensive, but you get what you pay for. And with Razer coming out with PlayStation alternatives, if you're looking for that, there is the Raiju V3. And if you're just a gamer who wants the best of everything, but you only play on PC, they have the 8K version of this on PC. Yes, they are expensive, but again, I'm a big believer in you get what you pay for. And this is definitely the way to go. But, you know, it really depends on what you're buying and which version you're getting. This one costs $200. Yes, I get that's a little pricey. It is double the price of the G7 Pro, but the performance is just peak. As you can see, like I said, I've added a faceplate. I've also added the stick caps here, where on the Ultimate, I also have the stick caps. I do not have the stick caps on here. Why? Mainly because I didn't have anything to match these colors, but I put those on all my sticks. It's a great controller, don't get me wrong. It just didn't serve me the way I wanted it to. It did not serve my platforming needs for games such as Contra, Operation Galuga, Shredder's Revenge, and fighting games like Killer Instinct. It really doesn't hold up, and that's just a big problem for me because I love my retro brawlers, and with games like Double Dragon Revive and other ones coming out, Marvel's got the big one, He-Man's got the big one, you got your beat 'em ups coming out. I'm just Cosmic Invasion. It's making me use other controllers or play it on other platforms just because my two go-to controllers until now haven't had some of the best D-pads. And again, the Razer does. Now I don't have a problem going back and playing those beat 'em ups. It's just hard for me to recommend that controller. It's a good controller, but if we're not talking about money and we're just talking about value, I think Razer's got a beat. I don't think I can recommend the 8-Bit Do over it because it's just missing so many features unless all you really want is the design and a flawless D-pad. So this will rile up a lot of people's feathers, but it's just time for me to move on, and I don't think this is the controller that I can highly recommend to all my fellow Xbox gamers. Now, if you're looking at something with a lot of great features for sub $100, yes, go with this one. You got wireless. It's $99.99, semantics, right? But you got wireless, you got great features, mechanical. It's great. It's just not for me. That D-pad just ruined it, and it was so close to being the perfect controller, and price did factor into that almost near perfect. But again, taking price out of it, this is the perfect controller in my opinion. I just love the way it feels, love the way it performs. It's just the pinnacle of gaming at this point for the Xbox. There you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. I want to hear mainly from the people who purchased the Wuchang Wireless, or as I like to call it, the G7 Pro proper, and your long-term impressions. Have you put it down? Have you gone back to your other wireless options, like say the Ferox, the PowerA, or the Razer? What have you gone to? Or are you still using it? Let me know. I definitely want to hear. I've even heard some people have gone back to the G7 SE. Some people like the T7 Pro. Let me know. Drop it in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. God bless each and every one of you. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.